I hope that that tough dog doesn't mind that I'm using his appearance, because that's just amazing. Look at that. That looks so good. Hello everybody, Jonesy here again, bringing you another Mass Effect Andromeda build video. Today we have landed on the human Kineticist, and I want to start by saying that we're not going to be doing gold anymore. People don't really like gold anymore for some reason, and I've gotten a few comments saying that I shouldn't be looking at gold anymore. I should probably be looking at platinum instead, because that's where the action is at right now. So without further ado, I have looked into the build, and I have chosen a build that would work really well in platinum. I think. I've actually played a few platinum games already, and it does kind of look cool. I'm going for a 6-4-4-6-6 build. In pull, we are going for the radius. We want to pull as many people as possible. Rank 5, we are going for expose, so that they take more damage from all sources. And then in rank 6, this is a personal preference. If you're going for shield strip, you would go for anti-shield. But you can go for biotic drain, because it will help you with your biotic ascension, basically. As long as you keep that person pulled, you're gonna get shields back, which will actually strengthen your next attack, which will probably be the throw. Just throw moves away. Both of these are really good. I prefer the anti-shield at lower levels, though. Both of these are really good, but in platinum, they're kind of lackluster. The shield doesn't do nearly as much damage as one would think, and biotic drain, if you're pulling someone and you're keeping him pulled, you're basically exposing yourself, meaning that enemies are going to shoot you, and after a few shots you've lost all of your shields anyway. However, in lower difficulties, these are really good, especially the anti-shield. If your enemy has a little bit of shield left and it gets stripped off because of pull, it will still get the pull debuff, and you can still detonate into them. With throw, in rank 4, we're just going for damage and force. Why is that? Because radius will not help us. If we pull and then throw, regardless of how many people we pulled, it is still going to throw everybody. So it doesn't matter if we take radius, we might as well go for damage and force. Lance, primarily we're going to be using Lance as our detonator. So we're going to use damage and force instead of radius, because we do want to do as much damage as possible with our Lance. Then for the meat of this character, which is Biotic Ascension. Now, what Biotic Ascension does is, once you accumulated enough charges, you need to keep the F button, or whatever button you have for melee, pressed, and it'll basically get you into this ascended state, which will no longer give your biotic abilities any cooldown, but it'll eat at your shield in the process. That is why we are going for efficient ascension, so that we have that shield cost reduction while ascended. It's really good. It'll keep your shields up, and the damage resistance while ascended and minus 2 charges required are a nice takeaway, in my opinion. In rank 4, we are going for power, just so that our attacks can do more power before we detonate. At rank 5, personal preference, you can go for exposure. That means that when you pull somebody, they'll take 60% extra damage, as opposed to the 30% from pull. However, this requires you to use pull as your primer. It is a primer per se, but if you're using an elemental ammo mod, you will not do extra damage without combo detonation. You're not going to do extra damage. So go for combo detonation instead. 50% all combo damage. That also applies to fire combos, cryo combos, tech combos, whatever you combo into, it'll do extra damage. This also means that if you pull into throw or lance to detonate, they will take 80% extra damage, as opposed to the 60% extra damage from exposure. So all in all, I would have to say combo detonation is better. And then barrier, this is going to keep you alive. Go for unyielding barrier, just to have more max shields. Before I look at the other ranks, I do have to say that regardless of how much maximum shield you have, the amount of shields that get reduced every time you use an ability while ascended will be the same, because it'll take a percentage of your maximum shields. In other words, you can go for recuperative barrier, but unyielding barrier will just keep you alive longer. Biotic Link at rank 5, this means that every time we use pull on somebody, for example, and they get pulled, you get a 40% increase in your maximum shields. And at rank 6, we are going for Active Barrier. Every time we kill someone with our biotics, this being Lance, or Pull, or Biotic Detonation, whatever, we are getting 15% of our shields restored. This is going to help us stay alive as well. As for the loadout, you can use any loadout you so desire. I do highly recommend a Remnant weapon. The reason for that is the human Kineticist has nothing in the form of spare ammo, meaning that if you take something like the Hurricane, which I would normally take with me on Platinum, you don't have enough. You don't have enough spare ammo. I constantly found myself without ammo, just running to a loot box, trying to get more ammo, and dying in the process, and I was like, you know what? Frick it, I'm gonna just use a Remnant weapon. So I would recommend either the Equalizer, the Paw, the Shadow. I'm using the Paw right now. The reason for that is, again, I've watched Tough Dog. If you're watching, shoutouts to you, man. But I want to test the Paw out myself. I want to see if that is good for Platinum. As for equipment, your equipment should always reflect the type of damage you deal the most. That's going to be in the form of our biotics. So we are going to have to take the Adaptive War Amp with us so that our biotics deal more damage. As for the consumables, I always recommend you take some kind of elemental ammo mod with you. I do recommend the Incendiary ammo mod because that pairs up really well with Throw and Lance. You're not going to be pulling much when it comes to Platinum. That's because either they will have too much shields for the shield strip to work, or they will be armored, meaning that, well, you're not going to be pulling them anyway. The effect of pull will not be applied on them. As for the second consumable, I would recommend the Biotic Power Amp. The reason why we're going with the Biotic Power Amp and not the recharge speed is because while you're ascended, you don't have any cooldown on your abilities anyway. It uses shields, sure, but it's not necessary. You might be thinking, hey, you know, since it's taking shields, why not take a Cyclone mod with me, you know? As I said earlier, it doesn't matter how much shields you have in total, it will always take a percentage of your total shields regardless of how much you have. So without further ado, let's not get into gold, let's go straight into platinum.
Hostile territory, people. Secure this position and stay sharp. Squad member down. Apex. Keep it going. Sweet! Key enemy personnel were tracked to that location. Take them out. On it! Target down. Info on a new target incoming. Stand by. I'm reading a flatline.
Thank you!
Squad member down.
Gotta fix that.
I'm reading a flatline. Just 3 hostiles remaining. That hurt them. Be ready. Find artifacts and return to the drop point. Marking first location on your HUD. Artifact is secure.
Shields! Gotta fix that.
Artifact is secure.
Lost shields.
Hang in there, Apex. Got the drop.
Shields! I gotta fix that.
Artifact recovery is complete. Nice job. Enemies incoming.
Let's get going.
that?
Teammate injured.
I'll help.
Reading a
Careful!
flatline. Squad member down. Reading a flatline.
I'll help.
Just 3 hostiles remaining. That hurt them. Be ready. Objects of interest detected in the mission area. Find and return to drop point. Artifact is secure. Teammate injured. Artifact is secure. Squad member down.
Ultra!
Nearly through. Artifact recovered. Last drop received. All artifacts secured. Squad member down. are on me.